Hi, my name is CANADY, and I wrote my experimental design on conformity within groups. The hypothesis that I chose suggests that the larger the size of a group of people engaging in odd behavior, the more likely others will conform to that behavior. In 1951, Solomon Asch conducted a well-known experiment in which 50 male students who believed that they were taking part in a vision test were placed individually in a room full of 7 actors and were deceived into believing that the actors were real participants. Using a line judgment test, participants were asked to determine which of the 3 lines, A, B, or C, was most similar to the target line. Although the correct answer was always obvious, the actors all gave wrong answers. This left the real participant faced with the choice on whether to conform to the group or stick with what they knew was the true answer. The result of this study indicated that 32% of participants conformed with all the trials, and 74% conformed with at least one of the trials. So, to test the hypothesis that the larger the size of a group of people engaging in odd behavior, the more likely others will conform to that behavior, I would choose to conduct an experimental study using basic math problems. The purpose of the study would be to determine under what conditions individuals are more likely to conform to a group. The study would require the participants to go through 4 rounds of answering basic math problems. The first round would consist of all the participants entering a room alone and being asked a series of simple math questions. The questions would be basic enough that any given competent adult would be able to answer them correctly. In the second round, the participants would be placed in a room with 2 other actors. In this round, both actors would be able to answer the simple math question out loud one at a time, but the answers they gave would be wrong. The real participant would then have the ability to conform with the group's answer or answer with what they likely know is the correct answer. In the third round, the real participant would be placed in a room with 10 actors, and much like the last round, each actor will give the wrong answer. Finally, round 4 would consist of all the real participants and the 10 actors, but this time one of the actors would give the correct answer while the other 9 give the wrong answer. The experimental conditions of this design would be the last 3 rounds in which all the real participants are placed in a group of actors giving incorrect answers. The 3 rounds give the real participant numerous situations in which they might be under pressure to conform to the group, but have the ability and free will to make their own choices and answer the questions correctly. The purpose of the final round would be to see if the single outlier has the potential to break the real participant's desire to conform to the group. Assuming that this experiment were to receive approval, the participants would be recruited from local colleges via college emails. College students would be selected for this sample because it is likely that basic math problems will be no issue for them to answer correctly. This experimental design would require the participation of at least 50 students and require them to be tested in all 4 of the rounds. Given the prior experiments that have been conducted on this hypothesis, I speculate that a majority of real participants will conform within rounds 2 and 3 of this experiment. Although the correct answer is always obvious, the concept of informational influence suggests that the participants are likely to change their answer to fit the group because they might believe that the group majority is better informed, and thus the participant does not want to risk being incorrect and standing out from the group. As for the 4th round, I speculate that some individuals will continue to conform to the group, but there will also be more real participants who give the correct answer due to this single outlier who gives the correct answer as well. I believe that this one outlying individual has the potential to help the real participant stray from the desire to conform to the group. And these are my references.